How we doing? How we doing, traders? And welcome to the SPACs attack, baby. How we doing, Chris? It's good to see you. I hope you had a great weekend. I hope everyone had a great weekend and having a good holiday. And boy, am I excited about today's show. Another great CEO interview. You know, my man Chris here has been working really hard to get you these interview guys. So definitely smash the like below, hit the bell, let everyone know the CEO's coming on and just probably about 10, 15 minutes. So let's go ahead and let's get started, Chris. How you doing today?
I'm doing great. How about you, Mitch?
Man, you're sounding great. Looks like you got some upgrades, man. I
We
like
got
the
a
headset.
camera, we got a microphone. So all those
Hey,
people commenting, hey, we listened.
Hey, like always, you know, one of the things we definitely want to do is make sure that we listen to our viewers out there. And our viewers said, we need to upgrade my man Chris here, right? So that's what we did, guys. You know, one of the things is Chris has been working hard. He's new to Benzinga. If you guys didn't really know, this is kind of our first year together. And at the end of the day, we're smashing it. We're smashing it, guys. And we're going into this new area, really bringing information to you guys so that you guys can trade these SPACs and be informed. All right, guys, so let's go ahead and let's get into the headlines. We have a lot to do today, so let's go ahead and take us back, Chris.
All right, guys, huge show today. We do have that CEO interview coming up. So I'm going to try to get through headlines quick here. It is Monday, so we have a lot to touch on. So we have Virgin Galactic, symbol SPCE. So shares are falling on the news that its test flight on Saturday ended early. So the company's onboard computer lost connection and triggered a fail-safe scenario that halted ignition of the rocket motor. So shares were down 17% early Monday. They have started to recover. We talked about this one heavily last week with that major catalyst of the test flight. They also have a deal in place with NASA for some payload. So if you believe in the long-term story here, you could have a buying opportunity on that dip from the news. Then we have symbol VLDR, so Velodyne. This is one of several LiDAR companies that we've talked about. So Amazon's Zoox unit, which is their autonomous cars, announced a new robo-taxi. So this unit can go up to 75 miles per hour with 16 hours of continuous driving. The autonomous car can carry 4 passengers. So it's worth mentioning here that LiDAR company Velodyne has a partnership in place with Zoox. Shares are trading higher today on that connection there. Then we have Quell, symbol QELL. So this is one we've talked about for a while. This is a SPAC that has not announced a target. Shares were up 13% on Friday and are up early trading today. So they have not announced their target, but they are often rumored with Proterra, an electric bus company. Proterra announced details of a new EV battery manufacturing facility on Friday. So this one has ran up quite a bit on rumors and could keep going higher if it lands Proterra, but also keep in mind if Proterra is not the target, people could quickly sell out of this name. Want to talk a little bit about PaySafe here, so symbol BFT. This is one we've been talking about for a while. We highlighted on our November 30th rumors show when shares were trading at 10.50. So they announced that they are taking PaySafe public. So shares are now over $15. We did get some action with the media on Friday on CNBC. Steve Grasso said that shares could double or triple from here. So again, this one is getting a lot of attention. We told you about that rumor there when it was at 10.50. I do like the long-term story here in the online payment space, but as always, remember to do your own research. And then on Friday, we brought you 4 new deals that were announced over the course of Thursday's after hours and Friday morning session. So symbols TPGY, that one traded up 116% on Friday. Then we had FIII, that one was up 6.5% on Friday. Symbol GIK was up 1%. And CGRO traded down 2%. So 4 huge deals that were announced Thursday and Friday. Only one really sustained its movement from the deal announcement. The other 3, which includes that CGRO, actually trading down on the day that that deal was announced. So that is worth mentioning here and kind of keeping an eye on, that some of these deals, when they are announced, are seeing that huge double-digit run but it looks like people are taking profits on that news. Two big IPOs that were expected before the end of the year have now been postponed. So Roblox and Affirm both pushed their IPOs back due to the surge in price for DoorDash and Airbnb. So the companies are now said to be considering a direct listing. They have been rumored in that SPAC space as well. So we saw DoorDash and Airbnb, double over that pricing range. So it looks like these companies want to make sure they price their IPO at an attractive valuation to, get as much funding as they can. A direct listing, an auction, or the SPAC route, might be a better option for them here to really set that valuation bar. QuantumScape, so symbol QS. This is one we've talked about a lot. It used to be KCAC, former SPAC. They are a battery company. So this is the best performing SPAC of 2020. Jim Cramer announced this morning he will have the CEO of QuantumScape on Mad Money tonight. Remember to do your own due diligence, but Cramer has been causing spikes in SPACs after they appear on the show. Next, we have DMYT. So this is the company merging with Rush Street Interactive, the leading sports betting company in Illinois and the iGaming leader in the nation. They announced that their merger vote date is set for December 29th. Next, we have DM, so Desktop Metal, former SPAC that completed that deal last week. So the man himself, Chamath Palihapitiya, shared some on Twitter today. He blamed some issues on the New York Stock Exchange, with people not being able to trade the stock after the deal was completed, being part of the sell-off and shares being down over 20%. He did also tweet, nothing fundamental changed about the company from last Thursday to today. It is still one of my core SPAC holdings, and I still believe in their products and future. It's frustrating what happened, but DM will be great and put this speed bump behind them. So again, we talked about this one on Friday's show. I did say that I bought the dip in Desktop Metal. I believe in the long-term story. Make sure you do your own research. But I did think that that was a buying opportunity to buy this great 3D printing company on the dip. And that's it for headlines today, Mitch. I know that was a lot to hit here.
Like always, guys, Chris bringing the news and bringing the information to you guys. Like always, we always recommend do your own research. What we're here for, guys, is to bring you the news, And then, like always, you got to go ahead and look at the technicals. You got to go look at the fundamentals so that you could really time your entry into the market. It's not just always going to be about the story. It's a combination of things, and that's why I always like to look at using a combination of when do I think the catalyst might run, when do the technicals match up, because like always, you can get caught in these, like we talked about QS that was all the way at the top and then got that big drop. So like always, you got to know your levels and know your out plan. Okay, so one of the things I'm really excited and Chris has been doing great on is bringing you guys a calendar. And calendar is so important, right? Because you got to know when the catalysts are coming. Like I always say, the story is everything in these stocks, and the hype will just bring it. So if you don't know the catalyst, you're going to be left behind. So one of the things that we did is I have a small video here. You guys can always come back and kind of watch it. I'll put out a clip about it, but Chris is going to go through it right after I play this video. So I'm going to go ahead and play it so you guys can see some of these dates, and then Chris will go into why these dates are so important. Hey, how you guys enjoying that? I hope you guys enjoyed the SPAC calendar. Definitely go back and look at it. You guys can hit that freeze frame. Chris is going to go ahead and talk about it. So what's going on with these dates, Chris?
Yeah, so we've talked a lot about those key dates. So kind of following the life cycle of the SPAC. So they, announced the SPAC, then they IPO, then they split from units to common and warrants, and then they announce, their target, then they announce that merger date, and then they trade as the new company on the exchange. So one of the big catalysts tends to be the announcement of the merger date, and then the trading sessions kind of leading into that merger date. We've seen this with a couple examples, and then also sometimes after that merger deal is completed, you can see a sell-off like we did with Desktop Metal last week, or you can see shares trade higher as they get the attention on CNBC and some analysts. So it's important to kind of learn the patterns and look at stuff. But I wanted to highlight our calendar for this week. So we have today, LFAC is voting on their merger with Lancy. Tomorrow we have OPES voting on their merger with BurgerFi. Tomorrow we also have a presentation from Tattooed Chef, a former SPAC. Then on 12/16, we have the vote on the merger with Skills for FEAC. On the 17th, we have IPOB voting on their merger with Open Door. We also have SAMA, SAMA, voting on their merger with Clever Leaves. That's a cannabis play that we talked about on Friday. And then on 12/18, we have LCA voting on their merger with Golden Nugget Online. So again, Mitch had that great highlight of the calendar. So if you didn't get a chance to catch all those tickers, go back and rewatch this. You can save that picture and kind of know those dates. And then it also showed some dates for next week and the week after. So if you want to save those as well, but we will be talking about those in the coming days as we kind of look for the major events. But I do want to get to our interview today. So that's it on the calendar, Mitch.
All right, got to add myself here. All right, so one of the things is, like always, guys, we try to bring you guys the experts and the CEOs in the industry, and I'm really excited to go ahead and bring on our next guest. I'm going to let Chris introduce because he's been doing really hard and working to get all these CEOs on. So, Chris, go ahead and let's bring on our guest here.
Awesome. Yeah, I am excited to bring you guys another exclusive CEO interview here on SPAC's Attack. So our guest today is Lionel Selwood. He is the CEO of Romeo Power, set to merge with RMG acquisition. Lionel is an accomplished product management leader with expertise in operations management, financial management, supplier development, strategic sourcing, and product quality management. Lionel previously worked at General Electric, SpaceX, and Faraday Future. Lionel, thanks for joining us today and welcome to the show.
Thank you so much, Miss and Chris. Good morning to you. Good morning to your viewers. And look, I have to say, congratulations to everything that you two and your team have been doing from an education retailer standpoint. You're doing awesome. So please keep it up.
Well, thank you
We
so
appreciate
much for
that. Yeah, really, that's what Chris and I really started this show, was that we realized that there's not enough coverage on these SPACs, and that what we really want to do is just bring the information out there so that people can be informed and start learning really about this asset class and how they can really become investors in here.
There you go. Great job. Phenomenal.
And part of that research is bringing these CEO interviews on the show. So we've been fortunate enough to have a couple CEOs join us on the show. And what better research and due diligence for, viewers than to get, commentary from the CEOs of the companies themselves.
All right, so like always, we're going to go ahead and let's get right into the questions. I'm going to let Chris go ahead and knock them out. And like always, guys, hit the like, hit subscribe below so that you guys can be notified when these videos go live.
That's right.
All right, Lionel. So we're going to dive into questions here. So the first question that we usually ask is the cliche one of why a SPAC, and then how close was Romeo Power to going public via a traditional IPO?
Sure. So good morning again, Chris. Look, glad to be here. Why a SPAC? I'll give you a couple of reasons. First and foremost, Chris, the ability to talk about your future and you utilize projections in terms of your negotiation. The second would be, of course, speed to market, Chris. As you know, IPOs anywhere from 12 to 18 months, whereas SPACing, you can go 4 to 5 months and you're out the door. And then the third one is just being able to understand a preset value of what we're going out to the door with between the sponsor and ourselves. And then the fourth one, Chris, I'll tell you straight up, look, all SPACs are not created equal. I would employ anyone that's going through this process to look at your team. So the RMG team brought phenomenal strategic leadership, energy connections that we'll utilize in our growth, and just overall improve governance of our company. So that's why we went SPAC. And the second part of your question, almost 2.5 years to the day, Chris, I looked in my notebook. We said that we were going to go IPO. So this route just happened to present itself at the top end of 2020, and we love all the tangibles that we spoke about, so we choose this route.
Awesome. So I want to get into one of your partners. So Borg Warner, a leading tier one supplier, is a partner with Romeo through a joint venture and also an investor in the company. So can you
Yes.
talk about the positives of this relationship with Borg Warner?
Sure. So, Chris, first of all, look, at Romeo, we have an industry agnostic portfolio. And we're not only working in the commercial vehicle space, but we're also winning in agriculture, mining, aviation, as well as some other adjacent fields. So what I want to be clear with you about is, look, what we do is we take cutting edge cells, such as the ones from, let's say, a Panasonic, in LG, a Samsung, or even a QuantumScape, and we use our proprietary design language from a module, battery pack, and battery management system software suite, and really allow those cells to shine. And that leads to market-leading energy density, which is longest range, fast charging, configurability, safety, and reliability. So first and foremost, want to let you know what we do at Romeo. And that's how we've been able to secure $544 million in contracted revenue and have another $2.2 billion under advanced negotiation. But to your primary question, Borg Warner made a strategic investment in us in 2019. And Chris, three things, really and truly. So first and foremost, they help with optimizing our manufacturing system. At Romeo, we knew that manufacturing had to be a key critical pillar and competency of ours to avoid production hell. So one of the things that we've been partnered with Borg Warner on is designing our next generation line, which is going to be more capacity in a smaller space and higher equipment efficiency. So that's the first and foremost. Second is cost out of the supply base. Quite frankly, Chris and viewers, Borg Warner is the largest procurer of certain materials that we use in our product globally. So we're already seeing cost that's coming out of our bill of materials that's leading to more competitive total cost for our end customers. And then last but not least, really quality revenue. Okay, so all of the numbers that you see guiding that you and your team actually going over do not include the opportunities throughout Europe and Asia. So what we're doing is leveraging our partnership with Borg Warner to really accelerate entry into the European and Asian markets, while myself and my leadership team are busy grabbing share in North America.
Okay, so I heard you touch a little bit on revenue figures there. So that was my next question. I saw in the presentation contracted revenue of 300 million and 2.4 billion in uncommitted revenue. Is that still the figures here, or do we have an update on those amounts?
No, so there was a great question, Chris. There was actually an update on that amount. A couple of weeks ago, we actually announced our partnership with Lion Electric. So we announced a 234 million production deal with Lion Electric, which we're extremely excited about. So that brought the backlog up from the 310 million from announcement to 544 million to where it currently stands now. So now we're at 544 million in committed revenue with another 2.2 billion under advanced negotiation.
Awesome. And then I want to talk about another partner of yours. So Republic Services, one of the largest trash companies in the US. So they are also an investor in Romeo Power. So how is that relationship progressing as the company pushes to get some electric trash vehicles to market?
No, that's amazing. So look, we're very excited about Republic Services and our partnerships with Heritage Environmental. But Chris, allow me just a few seconds. Just if you zoom out a little bit, this is monumental because these partnerships with our fleet managers is really game changer. For example, with Heritage Environmental, we're electrifying a minimum of 500 vehicles with Romeo Power technology inside, no matter the OEM. I'll say that again, 500 vehicles, no matter the OEM. So here we are as Romeo Power in the driver's seat. We have fleet managers that's really mandating that our technology be inside because they know that's how they're going to satisfy the uptime, ROI, and profit per mile metrics as they switch from ICE to BEV. And by the way, Heritage, there's 2,000 trucks that need to be electrified. So we have 500 that we're going to do, and there's potential for all the way up to 2,000. Only a small subset of that opportunity is within the numbers that you see. And then let's flip back to Republic Services, right? Their COO, Tim Stewart, is joining our board upon close. Extremely excited about that. They actually increased the investment as part of that announcement as well. But if you look at that landscape, Chris, they have 16,000 trucks. I repeat, 16,000 trucks that need to be electrified. So the long-term intent is for us to be inside either a portion or all 16,000 of those trucks. So the partnership is progressing well. As we said in the announcement, we're working on an alliance partnership, and that's been going great as well. So these two fleet management partnerships are paying true dividends. We're like the NVIDIA or ARM holding inside. We're literally the nucleus of electrification.
Awesome. What a great analogy there from you. So I want to get back in the intro. I talked about you working with General Electric and SpaceX. So one of the key things in the presentation was the company's battery team having technical expertise working with companies like Tesla, Apple, Amazon, Samsung, and SpaceX. So I know you worked at SpaceX, and some of the team with your company was responsible for the Tesla Model S, Tesla Model X, SpaceX Dragon rocket, and the Apache helicopter. So what can you tell us about this great battery team and the past experience with some of those large names?
Sure, and I love that you always do your research, Chris. So look, what we're saying there is, look, we have been able to put in a great culture of innovation at Romeo. So like Chris said, we have experts that have been led or been involved in the launching of certain vehicles, such as the Tesla Model S Fiat 500e, Apache helicopter, and with the Falcon rocket with myself personally working at SpaceX. But what we did is we brought all of the great pillars of the most innovative companies in the world and brought together a world-class team and put together the most innovative battery technology company in the world. And what it does, Chris, is we're not some tier 2, tier 3, tier 4 battery player. That's not who we are. Again, we're the nucleus of electrification. We're the foundational technology that will enable all of these EV players that are either in the commercial vehicle space or the agriculture space, the mining space, to really take off and revolutionize the industry. So what that has done, bringing all these competencies in-house, is enable us to go beyond the battery pack. So not only do we deliver the most cutting-edge battery pack technology in the market, but we help our customers size their systems, talk about vehicle efficiency, talk about the right selection of the inverters, motors, gearbox, etc., just to ensure that we're thinking about the fleet managers, okay? So we don't just deliver your battery pack and that's it. We really take an active lead and make sure as you change from ICE to BEV, you have vehicles or aircrafts or electric power boats that kick butt.
Awesome. So then my next question for you, you touched on the Lion Electric partnership. So I have in my notes here, so Lightning eMotors and Lion Electric, both companies going public via SPAC. They both highlighted you as a partner. I saw Lightning eMotors in their recent SPAC deal announcement say that Romeo was a partner with a 3-year battery deal. So I guess any insight you can provide on those partnerships and what future renewals may look like.
Sure, Chris, and look, and I appreciate you highlighting that. So like I said, really of the electrified space, we're like the ARM Holdings or NVIDIA inside, okay? And those partnerships that you just highlighted is core to our values. Why? Let's say a Lion Electric, right? They make anything from an ambulance to a school bus to a Class 6 vehicle or a Class 8 vehicle. Why is that important? It's important because at Romeo, what Lion is getting is a one-stop shop of electrification throughout all of their vehicles. And so let me be clear. Let's say a school bus is running 400 volts, okay, and you're going 70 miles a day. And let's say that Class 8 is running 700 volts, 800 volts, or even 1,000 volts. Well, at Romeo, what we're doing is we will deliver Lion the same exact pack, change out one part with our technology, and we're able to support the higher voltage vehicles. They've never before had that option. They were kind of pigeonholed and have to actually digress their vehicle launch, etc. But with us, they're able to launch multiple vehicles at the same time with virtually no downtime. Okay, and it's the same with Lightning Systems. Lightning is making anywhere from a Ford E450 all the way up to the buses with ABC Company. Again, they have a one-stop shop at Romeo. They can scale up and scale down the capacity as they see fit. They have market-leading energy density, which increases their range. We've demonstrated that we're charging in 30 minutes or less large commercial battery packs. And look, it gives them, and our safety and reliability is second to none. So as they deploy all of these vehicles rapidly, they have a peace of mind that there's a low probability of an incident, right? So from a safety standpoint, and then from a reliability standpoint, we break everything in-house. before it goes to our customers. So they can push it as hard as they want, quite frankly, in all of the vehicles. So that's why they picked us, okay? Well, we are the bedrock of electrification in any and all of these vehicle segments. And that's why you see partners of ours, such as the Line Electric and Lightning Systems, partner with us long.
Awesome. And then, so I heard you talk a little bit about the medium size vehicles there. I want to talk a little bit about the Class 8 market. So
Sure.
your order book is with companies that make up 68% of the market share in that industry. So how big of a key target segment is the Class 8 market for Romeo? And is Romeo expected to be the market share leader in Class 8 trucks for batteries?
Sure, and great question. Look, so in the numbers that you and your team have poured over, we're actually predicting a conservative, a very conservative in my view, less than 9% market share by 2025, less than 9%. Okay, Class 8 is going to be a big driver for the overall industry, but we plan to take a significant share there as well. Quite frankly, our customers include Daimler, Kenworth already, as well as the up-and-comers, Line Electric, Lightning, Green Power, Nikola, etc. Even John Deere on the adjacent industry side. But what you see is right now in the middle of the market, that's penciling out already, especially in the 200 to 250 miles. We're going to be there. We're already there with the partnerships that you just announced. So we're going to take significant share there. But an up market, you'll see the same. Okay, so we're already providing Class 8 solutions, which are going 360 miles plus on a single charge. What we're focused on doing is supporting our roadmap to get to 500 miles plus on a single charge. So we're protected by and have the vision and the plan via our 20 plus year technology roadmap to continue pushing that. As soon as we get to 500 plus miles in the Class 8 arena, you'll start seeing us translate into really bigger orders even than we have today in the Class 8 arena. So bottom line, what we do, Chris, is we build partnerships up and down the value chain. Our products going to any e-powertrain solution, any integrator solution, any OEM solution, and definitely is delighting the fleet managers. So we're going to be, again, that ARM Holdings or that NVIDIA inside, no matter the value chain, okay? So either you're going to have our batteries and BMS, or modules and BMS in there, or modules, BMS, and packs, or even our enterprise connectivity platform up and down this electrification strategy over the next 5 to 10 years.
Awesome. So I've heard you make that ARM and NVIDIA reference a couple times. So I want to highlight in our chat, one of our loyal viewers, Chase, said it. So we've heard the phrase before, picks and shovel play. Here at Benzinga, we have a phrase we use. It's the thing behind the thing. So I love Romeo here, as the thing behind the thing for these electric vehicles and battery technology going forward. The last question I have for you before we get back to Mitch and some viewer questions is, so we've talked about several of your customers. I want to highlight a couple more: John Deere, Workhorse, BMW, Oshkosh. How important was it to have some of these key customers lined up, maybe before taking the SPAC route or focusing on an IPO to get that brand awareness out there?
No, sure. So look, actually, I'm leading the company for the long term. So, quite honestly, respectfully, SPAC is just a way to accelerate that vision. Okay. So our mission is to advance energy technology. Our vision is to actually end energy poverty. And I think that's important because everyone at Romeo, what we're driving to do is make green energy accessible to all 8 billion people in the world, right? So even when we're in stealth mode, we were focused on safety, reliability, energy density, and configurability, right? Because we saw Hoch. We saw that the industry was transitioning due to regulatory pushing and tailwinds, but nobody was really satisfied with the performance of the tough industries. And when we say the tough industries, again, that's really commercial vehicles and the other adjacent industries that we talked about. So it was important for us to get product out for people to stand behind our product. So if you talk to any of our partners, they hear that phrase from me a lot. The most important thing for us at Romeo is to give our customers product they can stand behind, to give them comfort in continuous deployment of that product, okay? So it was important to do that. And then equally as important to continue lining up the impressive customer order book that we have today. So my point to you is, it was great that we had them lined up already. We've been working on it for 5+ years. I think it was just an adder with the SPAC. And Chris, before we bring Mitch in, I love the thing behind the thing, but I'll give you one more.
Oh,
Electrification ETF.
okay.
Electrification ETF. That's what you look at Romeo Power app, because you have exposure to the entire electrification vertical, not only commercial vehicles. So Chris, I want to tell you, we're not beholden to any one customer or any one vertical. We don't do that. Again, to make green energy accessible to anyone, we're going to be leading the charge and electrifying all of these industries. Any industry that's serious about going green is our addressable market. That's more than $1 trillion TAM.
Awesome.
Hey, well, I can't blame you for it. I'll put it down below. One of my biggest things is always the underlining asset. And it's I learned this in school going into finance, and my professor always told me, don't always pay attention to what, everyone's kind of looking at. The hype right now is all the EV vehicles but what's behind the EV vehicle?
Right.
How are these going to be powered? I mean, if we're going to have
Right.
such demand and so many cars coming out, how are they going to be powered? And that's why that's where you come in, Lionel, and go ahead
That's right.
and get
Thank
that
you, Mitch.
solution. Yeah. So I'm really excited to see where the next year kind of brings us in this EV. One of the things that I've been mentioning, and I mentioned it on Pre-Market Prep, our morning show, is that
Yeah.
I think, EV is really kind of this next decade, a generational play. It's not necessarily a just 2020 play and then it's going to go away. In my eyes, I think, we keep going further and further into the green energy. And I think as you look, we're always going to be fighting towards going towards more green. So I think this is just the beginning, and I think you would agree with that, right, Lionel?
Oh, definitely. Look, Mitch, this is the electrification decade. That between 2020 and 2030, you're gonna see a monumental switch and elimination of all the stigmas that people talk about, and that's where we come in. Again, there's a lot of regulatory tailwinds, which is amazing, right? Plus US states, Europe, China, and with the new administration, there's going to be more. There are the OEMs and the fleet managers committing to this. Where Romeo comes in is the part that matters the most, enabling all of these people to win, having technology that performs beyond expectation and that performs for years better than anyone else, better than our competitors. So I agree with you, and I employ your listeners. And again, shout out to Mitch and Chris. Shout out to what you guys are doing. This is not a pump and dump. This is a set it and forget it. Investing in Romeo is a set it and forget it. My team, I are leading this company for the next 50 years. And if you pump and dump, you're going to miss out on some great gains. You're going to miss out on a time that's huge. You're going to miss out on just a penetration rate, if you will, that's heavily understated. So you're absolutely right, Mitch. This is the electrification decade, and at Romeo, we're at the forefront of it. And again, electrification ETF, baby. I love that you put it on the screen.
Of course, gotta support, gotta support. One of the things that we do often is definitely go to our viewers for our questions here. So
Yeah.
I got a question here from our viewer, Steve. I'm
Sure.
going to put it up. He said, can you briefly touch on the different partnerships you have and what value this will bring to your growth and success?
Sure, definitely. Okay, so briefly. So first and foremost, the Borgwana piece, like they talked about. The partnership with Borgwana highly de-risk our high growth business plan. Again, they're a multi-billion-dollar company, well-regarded, well-respected automotive supplier, right? And they just know how to do big business the correct way. So I'm partnering with them in manufacturing or optimize our manufacturing system, really getting supply chain cost out to get more competitive from a total cost standpoint. And then, like I said, really leveraging the existing partnerships to accelerate our entry, not only in North America, but throughout Europe and Asia. And the last thing I'll say about Borgwana is they just closed the acquisition, as you know, Chris and Mitch, of Delphi. So imagine this: Romeo Power, battery pack, battery management system, Borgwana, gearbox, motor, inverter, etc. With Delphi Power Electronics. That is a mean e-powertrain combination that we can put and roll together. So that's one. The second is the fleet management, the fleet manager. So I'll touch on Heritage Environmental. We talked about Heritage Environmental electrifying 500 vehicles minimum with Romeo Power technology inside. That's huge. Again, that's huge. They're saying, telling the OEMs, let me be clear. Heritage is telling the OEMs, yes, we will buy your vehicles as long as Romeo Power technology is inside. But another part of the Heritage Environmental Partnership is the battery recycling piece, which I don't get to talk about a lot. So we have a net profit sharing agreement with Heritage Environmental for a game-changing battery recycling business. Heritage Environmental already has processes, proprietary processes, and have battery recycling customers today. But we're partnered with them on doing processes that's tailored to our product. And in 21, we'll be making announcements about where our location will be and who are our launch customers for our battery recycling business. But Chris and Mitch, you know, that's again another high growth business that is in-house at Romeo. So the customers or the viewers have the ability to invest in a battery recycling business. Jump into Republic Services now. Republic Services, like Chris said, the largest waste management companies in the world. 16,000 fleets that need electrification. We're working on an alliance partnership. And again, the vision there is to deploy Romeo-powered refuge vehicles, as well as additional verticals that we're demonstrating with them. Okay, so partnerships, Heritage Environmental, Republic Services, Borg Warner, and then I have to give a shout out to all of our customers, right? All of our partners. And when we say partners, this is serious. That's why I keep saying partners. Anywhere from the Line Electrics of the world, Lightning Systems, Nikola Motors, Green Powers, you name it, right? So what this is going to do, it allows us to accelerate the change and take away the stigma that electrification is a fad. It is not. This is here to stay. We are winning now, and we will continue to do so for decades with the impressive partnerships that we have built and will continue to build.
All right. So I think you're definitely having an impact out there. I'm even seeing Jocelyn over here. Looks like she wants a job or something, because here we go. How are you finding the battery talent to join? And is this emerging market, it's tough to find the talent out there with this niche. How are you finding your talent?
Sure. Thank you so much, Jocelyn. It starts with, and thank you for giving me this platform again, the mission and vision of the company, first and foremost. Okay? So that mission of advancing energy technology, vision of ending energy poverty, talent, key talent, doesn't just care about money and working on a fad. Key talent wants to make a change and be in a great culture. And that's what we've built at Romeo. So that's the first and foremost. But after that, you know, Chris alluded to this. How are we finding the talent? Because we have different competencies inside of Romeo. We have cell science engineering expertise, thermal battery management system expertise, production expertise, et cetera, et cetera. So we have all of the pillars of the battery value chain inside of Romeo. So what we do is not only are we pulling on different levels of the battery value chain arena, but we're finding talent in these different areas, right? So you have the culture, you have the different arenas. If you're a shop, what we call respectfully as a shop rat, meaning somebody that loves to be in the manufacturing arena and solving the tougher problems, building the machine that builds the machine, you got that for you. If you love to work with customers and say, hey, if my truck falls off the Appalachian Mountains, how do I ensure it doesn't break? Going facetious, but there's that for you. If you just love cell science engineering and testing the world best cells and pushing the technology even in the solid state arena, we have that for you too. So mission, vision, having all of these different avenues for people that are passionate about electrification and doing something great in the world. That's how we're finding our talent.
Well, you're definitely making an impact. I can tell you that. And one of the things I would say is you got some great speaking skills, man. I can see some people out there just already calling you to do some speeches. So
thank you, Mitch.
Hey, I really appreciate you coming on, and I'm sure we'll have you back on sometime soon. Lovely smile, great information, good company coming into a new technology area that I'm really interested in. So I'll definitely be watching this stock. I know Chris got a couple little more comments, and then we'll get you out of here.
Awesome.
Yeah, so Lionel, thanks for joining us on the show. Again, for our viewers, I want to highlight that Romeo Power did announce that merger vote date of December 28th.
Right.
So congratulations on that news, Lionel. I know that's an important step into the future. So we appreciate you coming on the show, providing that, deep insight into those partners, those investors. So thanks for joining us, and we look forward to following your progress.
Let me say one thing. Again, Mitch and Chris, congratulations for everything that you're doing. And I mean that. Growing up in the Virgin Islands, I didn't have an investment background. So thank you for everything that you're doing. And I would love to be back in your show when able. Okay, you have a great day.
Thank you.
Have a
That
great
means
one.
a lot.
Hey guys, I hope you guys enjoyed that and got the value that I got out of it. So definitely, like always, guys, hit the like down below. Smash, smash, smash. Let's keep going with the SPACs attack. You know, one of the things we're going to keep doing is bringing these CEOs and experts on for you guys, because at the end of the day, what we need in these investments is some information. We need some knowledge. We need to know what we're going to be informed in so that we can make informed trades. Like always, know your responsibility, know your risk, know your plan, and I always suggest that's the best way to go at it. Chris, anything else to leave us off with?
No, what a great show. What a great CEO interview again, guys. We hope that you enjoyed that. I saw some new faces in the chat. We had a decent amount of live viewers. So if you're here now, go ahead and like this video, hit subscribe so you get alerts when we go live every day at 11 a.m. We have more CEO interviews lined up. We'll be bringing you, great insight into these companies so you guys can do your own investment due diligence.
Yeah, like guys, we'll keep doing this every single day. So stick with us. Let your friends know, especially if they're into SPACs and they haven't seen this show. Let them know. They're missing out, guys. This is the best SPAC show in the world, guys. So like always, guys, what we do is try to unlock these SPACs, and we'll be back tomorrow, guys, with the SPACs unlocked.